Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Worthy One, the Supremely Enlightened One. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. This sutta is called Sanidāna Sutta. Sanidāna, it means with the cause. Blessed One explained here, when our Blessed One, the Buddha, was staying at the Savatthi, in Jeta's monastery, Anathapindika's monastery, Jetavana. That time, the Blessed One gathered the bhikkhus and explained this to all the monks. What the Buddha said, Sanidāna bhikkhave uppajjati kama vitakko. Kama vitakka, it means sensual thoughts. Kama vitakka, it means sensual thoughts. So the Blessed One is explaining here Sanidāna, with the cause, with the reason, the sensual thoughts arise. No anidana, not without reason. Okay, so in someone, if someone thinks that I am developing this desire, I'm developing this sensual thing, and I don't see any cause behind it, it just appears. It doesn't happen like that. That is the thing Blessed One explains here. Yeah. So with the cause or with the reason, the sensual thoughts arise. Furthermore, Sanidāna uppajjati vyapada vitakko, the malicious thoughts. That is also arise with the reason. Okay? Or not without reason. It doesn't happen without cause. It has a reason behind it. It means sometimes we develop this anger toward others or hatred toward others. Okay? And that hatred, it's not just automatically you see someone and automatically you hate someone. No. The things you don't like on the another person and the interruption or they are interfering your life, or those are the reason become to develop this malicious thoughts. Buddha says that is also with the reason, not without reason. Third thing, Buddha says, Sanidānam uppajjati vihinsa vitakko. Sanidānam, with the thought, with the reason, or for the reason, this cruel thoughts arise. Like, cruel thoughts, it means when we develop, I'm hurting someone, or whenever the thought comes, I'm going to hurt you, I'm going to do this thing to you. And that thing is called the cruel. And usually people do that thing. You may have seen so many revenge. People takes that, like puncturing someone's bike, or puncturing someone's car, scratching it, or even in grocery shop when you go, cutting off the line or making some disturbance. Those are things. But it doesn't happen automatically. It happens with the reason, not without. So something is bothering, something is happening. That's why this cruel thoughts is also appears. So the Buddha says these three things, sensual, malicious, and cruel thoughts arise with the reason or for the reason, not without a reason. Buddha explained then how this. Katancha bhikkhave sanidānam uppajati kama vitakko no anidāna. Sanidānam uppajati vyapada vitakko no anidāna. Sanidānam uppajati vihinsa vitakko no anidāna. Then how this sensual malicious and cruel thoughts arise for a reason, or with the reason, not without reason. Okay, how it is that happened. So the Buddha explained completely process of it. This process happens, and then we behave for this. How it is, Buddha explained beautifully. If someone want to understand that how this sensual desire arise in us, how the anger is happened, how the cruelty we show, this how it happens, this is the beautiful Sutta explain. Buddha explain here, Kam Dhatu. Kam Dhatu bhikkhave paticca uppajati Kam Sanya. Kam Dhatu, it always exists. Okay? The element of sensuality. So, element of sensuality is there. Kama dhatu is there. Like Buddha says, if just means someone who doesn't have the sensual desire, hatred, it's a young kid who is very young. He doesn't know anything. He doesn't know anger. He doesn't know hatred. He doesn't know how to take revenge. He doesn't know what his sensual thoughts are. So does that mean that he is an enlightened being? No. Because there the Kama Dhatu exists. The roots of this Raga, Dvesa, Moha exist. And once as he grow, once that kid is growing, what happened? Slowly, slowly, these all things appears. And with the previous practices, like the past life karma also come with it. And then that becomes more and more. And we see the person we characterize, okay, she is something like this, he is something, and those are all things we are mentioning. So the roots of that, same way, the Kama Dhatu exist in this world. So the Kama Dhatum Bhikkave Paticha Uppajati Kama Sanya. When the element of sensuality exists, then that gives rise to sensual perception. When we come to that context, when we see this Kama Dhatu, and when we have this Kama Dhatu, automatically the perception of this Kama Sanya arises. So it can happen with all the six senses. It doesn't happen in only with the one. All the six senses have these things, that perception with the sensual desire. Okay, so sensuality has this six sense bases also there. So Buddha says that Kama Dhatu exists, sensuality exists, that element of sensuality exists. That's why there is a perception of sensual perception exists. Because of Kama Sanyang Paticca, when the Kama Sanya is there, with that, it helps to give reason. Uppajati Kama Sankappo. Kama Sankappa, it means sensual thoughts, not exactly thoughts, but we are making our mind for it. We are making our mind for it. That is called sensual thought, Sankappa, determination kind of way. So, sensual decision that we make, okay, this is a nice thing, having sensual desire. So, with that, because of perception, the Kama Sankappa arises. Kama Sankappam Paticca Uppajati Kama Chanda. So, when sensual thoughts is there, or Sankappa is there, what happened? Kama Chanda, the sensual desire. I want this. I want this. Such a desire arises. Kama Chandang Paticca Uppajati Kama Parilahu. So, due to the Kama Chanda, this sensual desire gives rise to sensual passion. Kama Parilaha. It's not just the passion. It means you feel incomplete without it. You burn yourself inside. You know, like it happens like this. Without this, you cannot survive, kind of way. It's a beautiful example I'm going to give you. How it is. Kama Parilaha, what is this? We learned one story previously. It is about the stingy courtier. Okay, so the stingy courtier, he was stingy. It means we know. Okay, so he went to the king for some work. He was a businessman and he has a direct business with the king and all. So he went there, and while he coming back, he saw a one beggar eating the rice cake. Okay, so uh, kyaum in English, in Sinhala we call it kyaum. Okay, konde kyaum or kyaum he was eating. We call it pua in Hindi. So in English we can say it's just a rice cake. He was eating that. This merchant or this wealthy person thought, okay, this is a luxurious food and he's eating. Kamadhatu exists, and now the perception arises. It is a luxurious thing, and this beggar is eating. That is perception. Then, why should not I? That is called sensual, kama sankappa. I also want it. I should eat that. Then, develop desires. I am going to eat it definitely. Now I want it. But with the kama chanda, this thing arises in his. What? I have to spend the money for it. And I don't want to do that. What happened? He went home. While, as he saw, this beggar is eating the rice cake. And now, as he coming home, continuously in his mind, what is happening? I want to eat the rice cake, but I don't want to spend the money. If I invite people, means if we cook at home, everyone with the aroma of that food, because it is so, means lot of aroma is there. Several people can gather. And he's a very wealthy person. Several people will come and I have to share with them. If family members, relatives, everyone will come, what to do? So he stayed silent. And as he went home, in his mind, what is happening? The desire is there. The kama chanda is there, but he don't want to spend. So automatically behavior change. Without talking his wife, he went directly to his home and he lay down. After the whole day, she thought, every day as he come from the king, he tells me the stories. King said this thing to me, then these are these things, this is happening and those. What happened today? Simply, she went to him and asked, what happened? He said, nothing. She thought, okay, maybe he's something upset of something. So she left him. I mean, little bit later, she asked again, what happened? And he was upset. No, because if he really revealed that, that will be the difficulty. Once he revealed, what will happen? She laughed. Oh, that is a very small thing. So the parilaha, it means in the Pali, the parilaha shabda, it means the word is called what he did since he saw that. And as he laying down on the bed, just having that thought all the time, I don't want to spend, but I want to eat it. The behavior changed to fulfill that desire. What was happening? Inside, he was burning himself. Inside he was starving, not starving, yes, in a kind of starving, but wanting that, but without showing this. That is called parilaha, suffering in silence to fulfill that desire. Simply, for suffering to fulfill that desire. That is called parilaha. Furthermore, Buddha says, Kama parilaham paticca uppajati kama pariyesana. Pariyesana, it means searches for sensual pleasure. To fulfill what it does, that suffering brings him to seeking how I can get it, how to fulfill. And that is the story. What this person say? His wife said simply, okay, that is a very simple thought you have. Let's invite all the city people. We will make this rice cake and we will distribute to everyone. He said, no, desire happened to me. This stingy Kosier said, no, desire happened to me. Why everyone will eat? That is called pariyesana. Now he's searching. Now he want to complete and now he's finding that. Slowly, his wife told him, okay, we can invite only our relatives. He said, no, no relatives. Then he said, okay, only our close relatives, like in family, those things. He said, no, not relatives, anyone, no one. Okay, our kids and our working people who stays in this, He said, no. Why should do them? So she said, okay, we will make the rice cake only for our kids and you and me. He said, why kids? No kids. So she said, okay, I will make it for you and for me. He said, no. Why you? Desire happens to me. She said, okay, finally, I will make it only for you. Then the thought, if we cook at down, means in the kitchen, everyone will come and we have to give them. So take everything. We will go to the top floor of the building and we will cook there separately. So no one will notice. That is called pariyesana, searching for sensual pleasure. So all the goods, they took it from downstairs to upstairs and they started to cook. Pariyesana. They are searching there that sensual pleasure. This is the thing. It is mentioned here. What we do, we try to find and make it as we like in that way. Sensual desire is a one thing, okay? But every person behave to search or acts as that is something very different. And that searching is for everyone. So seeking sensual desire, it's not happened automatically. This entire cycle is there. What is it? There is an element of sensuality. Then this sensual the element helps to perception. This perceptions gives sankalpa, making mind. This making mind gives desire, means gives a reason to the desire, kama chanda. This kama chanda transform into the passion. In a way, parilaha. Okay, and that sensual passion helps to search for this pleasure, sensual pleasure, searching for the pleasure. That is called kama pariyesana. Buddha says, this is the very important thing. Buddha says, kama pariyesanam bhikkhave. Pariyesamanu. Kama pariyesan means searching for sensual desire. Pariyesamanu, it means while searching it, while fulfilling that desire, while searching this. Asutva puthajjano. Asutva, it means who have not heard the Dhamma. Puthajjana, it means ordinary person who doesn't know about Buddhism, who doesn't have the refuge. That person is called puthajjana. So, unlearned ordinary person on searching for sensual pleasures, what he does? Tihi thanihi michha patipajjati. In three ways, he behaves badly. Okay? Kain vachaya manasa. By body, speech, and mind. So, this is the Sutta explained. What Buddha says? Ordinary person, when he seeks that sensual pleasure, there is no ethic. There is no morality. Why? Because he doesn't understand what this for. So what is this sensual desire does? To seeking, fulfilling his own desire, he is ready to do anything. That is the Buddha explained here. Why? What? Pariyesanamano. While he's searching, unlearn, and this ordinary person misbehave in these three things. Kayana vacha manasa. He used his body, speech, and mind wrongly to fulfill his desire. And we see these people. They are all around. Sometimes we are also part of that. But as we are learning Dhamma, immediately we identify, okay, this is the wrong thing I'm doing. I should avoid that. And really, Dhamma gives strength. Sometimes, not always, sometimes we really get control of it. But other common person are unable to. Same way the Buddha explained, Vyapada dhatu bhikkave uppajati vyapada sanya. Vyapada sanyang uppajati vyapada sankappo. Vyapada chando, vyapada parilaho, vyapada pariyesana, vyapada pariyesana. Buddha explained with this element of malicious or malik gives rise to the malicious perception. Okay, so this malik, or it means, or the anger or the hatred, exist in this world. The roots of it exist in this world. Through that, like simply, you say bad word to any young kid, will they get angry? Infant, say no. They just look at, they see the behavior, the way that the tone we use at first. But as they grow a little bit older and older, when they understand what the another person is saying, then they start to get angry because the word's meaning now they are understanding. That hatred comes from there, the behavior, such a thing. So there is an element of vyapada exists. That thing helps to give the perception of hatred. This vyapada. Then that gives, furthermore, the perception gives the malicious thoughts, malicious desire, malicious passion, and malicious searches. Same way, when the person is doing for, searching for this passion, or this searches for malicious, what he does? Malicious search, he behave badly in 3 ways: body, speech, and mind. With the anger, we are so many times, we are very sorry. How we behave, we don't know. And we really ask forgiveness from that. Okay, I don't know what happened. Something completely hijacked us or overtake us, and then we behave in bad way. That is the thing, how it happens. Vihinsa dhatu bhikkave paticca uppajati vihinsa vitakka. The element of cruelty, rise the cruel perception that someone is different color, someone is from different race, someone is poor, someone's understanding, or with that mocking another person, dealing with them, or misbehaving with them. This cruel thoughts process, the cruelty, that also come with the perception. Son sees through the father how he behaves, and they act in that same way. What they are taught, they behave. So perception comes from there. The world works like this, and then this cruel perception gives rise to the cruel thoughts, sankappa, then cruel desire, kama, the chanda, vihinsa, chanda, then gives the cruel passion, the parilaha, then cruel searches, the pariyesana, vihinsa pariyesana. Buddha says, an ordinary, unlearned person on the cruel search behaves badly in 3 ways: by body, speech, and mind. That we can see surrounding of us all the time. All the time. We also are very sorry. Sometimes you may notice them. When we are shouting, sometimes with the body, with the speech, or with the mind, we do something very harsh that we haven't thought of. And then we regret it. So just because of that cruel search is there, for that we misbehave. Buddha says it is similar to this. Seyathapi bhikkhave puriso aditang tinukang sukhe tinadaye nikhipeya. So what happened? There is some simple. A person drops a burning torch or small lighter or just a matchbox or match with the fire. He drops it into the grass, and it is dried one. Okay, for the cow feed or others, we see the haystack, the haystack, we can say. He drops it there, and as it drops, if he doesn't extinguish immediately with the hands or feet, what will happen? This entire haystack will burn out. That is very easily get caught in fire, huh? So it will start to burn. What happened then? Buddha says, Evang hi bhikkhave ye tinaka nissita pana te anaya vyasanang apajjeyum. In this grass, there are small creatures. They will be unable to go out. If someone doesn't get rid of that fire, they will be come to ruin. They will get destroyed. They will be suffering. It will be very difficult for them. Buddha says in the same way, when someone developed evameva ko bhikkhave yohi kochi samanova brahmanova, any person, the saman or brahman, okay, ascetics or any person, what happened? Uppannang visamagatang sanyang means any ascetic or brahmin, when they have corrupt perception might arise. Okay, visamagatang sanyang. It means not common, but the corrupted one arise. Khippameva pajahati. Immediately that does not get rid of. Okay, quickly give up. Vinodeti, get rid of. Bhyanti karoti, eliminate it. Or anabhavang gamiti, obliterate it. If this person doesn't do this sanya, as soon as the perception arises, uneven perception arises, then if he doesn't do this, so ditte chevadhame, in this very life, viharati savighatang saupasang saparilahang, he suffers through this. They will suffer in this present life with the distress, anguish, and fever. That happens. Kayasya cha bheda parang marna duggading patikanka. And with the breakup of the body after death, they can go, means there is a property, they will go, or they can go to the bad place of birth. This is the first part of the Sutta Buddha explained. Second part Buddha explained completely opposite of it. What the Buddha says, this much Sutta you understand, huh? So the sensual desire or the kama vitakka, then hatred or malicious thought, then cruel thoughts, vihinsa vitakka. These are three things Buddha explained. Opposite of it, samma sankappa in the eightfold path that we learn, these three things is mentioned here. Katangcha bhikkhave sanidānang sanidānang bhikkhave uppajati nekkhamma vitakko. Buddha says, this nekkhamma vitakka, the thought of renunciation, is also with the reason. No anidānam, not without reason. There is a reason behind it. It arises, not without it. Sanidānang uppajati abhyapada vitakko. Goodwill. This goodwill also arises with a reason, not without it. Sanidānang uppajati avihinsa vitakko. The harmlessness also have a reason, not the without reason. Okay, these three things. Same way Buddha explained here. Katangcha bhikkhave sanidānang uppajati nekkhamma vitakko no anidānang. Sanidānang uppajati abhyapada vitakko no anidānang. Sanidānang uppajati avinsa vitakkono anidānang. And how do the thought of renunciation, goodwill, and harmlessness arise for reason, not without reason? Buddha explained, Nekkhamma dhatung bhikkhave paticca uppajati nekkhamma sanya. Element of renunciation exists. That gives, this element of renunciation gives rise to perception of renunciation. Let me tell you how. Okay, I will complete this and I will give the example. Nekkhamma sanyang paticca uppajati nekkhamma sankappo. When the perception of renunciation is there, then the thought of renunciation arises. Nekkhamma sankappa paticca uppajati nekkhamma chando. With the thought of renunciation, gives a rise to enthusiasm of renunciation, chanda, the desire for that. Enthusiasm of renunciation gives rise to passion for renunciation. Nekkhamma chanda paticca uppajati nekkhamma parilaha. Nekkhamma parilahang paticca uppajati nekkhamma pariyesana. Or fever for the passion for renunciation gives rise to the search for renunciation. This is Buddha explained. How this happens, let's see. As a bodhisattva, our blessed one, before leaving his home and becoming Buddha, what happened? As a prince, he was traveling in his country. As Channa told his father that I want to see the country which I'm going to rule. And each time he saw this different sight. One day he saw there is very old person, completely the gray hair or half of the hair he doesn't have, the crooked teeth, all the wrinkles and everything. Looking at that, he saw, oh, suffering exists in this world. Second time he saw they're very sick person, like doesn't have, very sick. There is a lot of what it called wounds or so many. Not how can we say? Okay, so the sick person who's everything is on his body, the liquid is flowing out, kind of the pus is coming out.
Oozing.
Yes, oozing the so that is he saw there is no cure for it. Then next time he saw a dead person. Lastly, the fourth time he saw there is a very young man who shaved his hair, wear the robe, and he was meditating. He asked the Channa, what that person? He looks something different. He's not wearing clothes like us. What he's doing? So the Channa told him, Swami or the prince, he left home to seek the truth. What does mean that? He said he doesn't want to fall into this trap all the time. What is happening? He wants to escape. So the perception of renunciation arises in the bodhisattva. Okay. So there are people who is seeking escape from it. And how to do that? To leave the home and then. But can he do immediately? Cannot. Went home, told the entire incident. And then Bodhisattva that day made his mind, I am going to leave. That is Sankappa. Desire, Sankappa is there. Okay, thought comes arise. I am going to leave it. But what time? How I should leave? So as he was sitting in the looking at the water, he was making his mind now. Today I am going to leave, and that moment, the one person came and told him that you have a son. Your wife gave a birth to a son. Immediately he says, Rahul Jata Bandhana Jato. With the birth of Rahul, the shackle or the bandhan, another tie has come to my life. Another bond has come to my life. So Suddhodhan gave the name Rahul to his son. That is a different. But just stopping that person, Parila, I want to leave. If I told now everyone that I'm leaving, what will happen? Because son is there. No one may let me go. No one may let me renunciate this world. If I wake up, there is desire to see the sun. There is, because long time later he has born. He wanted to see, but if I do, everything will stop. So what kind of mind the prince must have in that moment? That is called parilaha. Pariyesana. At night he wake up, went to the Channa. Oh, Channa, wake up. Bring the kantak outside. And then we will leave. The great renunciation we heard. We learned that thing. That pariyesana. How? Not only there, but finishes. It finishes when he become the Buddha. 6 years of searching for renunciation, seeking the renunciation. That is, oh, he left one by one that one thing. First, he left home. First, he left the desire for the family. Then he left the home, wife, kids, kingdom, his title, everything he left, become monk. Then he learned several things, but none of them it were useful. So he left that also. No need to that too. He went alone, starved himself, harsh practices, everything he did, only to one fulfill his reason. One thing he wanted completely. That is enlightenment. That is called Nikkama Pariyasana. Once he attained it, enlightenment, that was finishes. That renunciation is completed. So these entire things happen, these things. Today, we talked when we say, Bhante, I wanted to give up on this. How can I do? It's very hard. This is the renunciation. Something to give up, it doesn't happen in one moment. Bodhisattva, it took him for a long time to work upon it. Then he become enlightened. We also have to work on it. Slowly, slowly get rid of all the desires and everything. Slowly, slowly let it go. Not at one time. With the constant effort we can do. That is it mentioned here. Buddha says, Nekkama pariyesanam bhikkhave pariyesamano sutva arya savako tihi thane samma patipajjati. When the noble disciple or learned noble disciple search for the renunciation, behaves well in 3 ways. So one who has learned the Dhamma, he knows very well what is the Dhamma is. In the whole 6 years of life, no one can object on the Bodhisattva, that Bodhisattva did something wrong. Or whoever left the home and they become bhikkhus, monks, they will never be doing anything harm. The smallest wrong things, they are frightened not to do. That is body, speech, and mind. They behave well because of the Dhamma is there. Furthermore, Buddha explained, Avyapada dhatum bhikkave paticca uppajati avyapada sanya. So element of goodwill gives rise to perception of goodwill. Perception of goodwill gives rise to the thought of goodwill. That enthusiasm of goodwill, passion for goodwill, and the searching for goodwill or search for the goodwill. These things happen in the same way. To have this goodwill, this noble, learned noble disciple behaves well in these 3 ways: body, speech, and mind. Same goes for the furthermore. Avihinsa dhatum bhikkave paticca uppajjati avihinsa sankappo. The element of harmlessness gives rise to perception of harmlessness. Perception of harmlessness gives rise to thought of harmlessness. Thought of harmlessness gives rise to enthusiasm for harmlessness. Then passion for harmlessness and for search for the harmlessness. This has happened. Buddha explained this noble disciple, Sutavarya Savako Tihi Thane Samma Patipajjati, while Pariyesanamano, while a learned noble disciple on search for harmlessness behave well in 3 ways: body, speech, and mind. Blameless behavior, blameless. This is the thing, Samma Ditti, Samma Sankappa. The Samma Sankappa is this. Samma Sankappa is This one the Buddha explained. What is it? Samma Sankappa is Nikkama Sankappa, Avyapada Sankappa, Avihinsa Sankappa. That is the Buddha explaining here. So in the Sammaditthi ones, that is why Sammaditthi come first. The noble disciple, learn noble disciple with the Samma Sankappa, Sammaditthi. That noble disciple behave in this way. Samma Sankappa. Buddha explained, give the one simile of that. Seyatapi bhikkhave puriso adittang tinukkang sukhet tinadaye nikkipeya. Suppose a person was drop a burning torch in a thicket of dry grass. Tamena hattena cha padena cha kippameva nibbhapeya. And immediately he extinguished with his feet and hand, extinguished that immediately. Evangi bhikkhave ye tinakatta nissita pana tena anabhyasanang apajjeyam. Because of he has extinguished that fire, the beings or creatures or small insects are living in the grass and wood wouldn't come to ruin. Their life will not be harmed. That is the Buddha explain. Because of he has extinguished immediately. He's not saying that he hasn't burned it. That happens, Sometimes we drop the fire somewhere, and then if we don't do, something will come to harm. But here he is doing. It is mean. We are also, as you and me, we also drop the torch in our life. Now it is our time to extinguish immediately so that we will be secure. Buddha says in same way, evameva ko bhikkave yohi kochi samanova brahmanova uppannang visamagatang sanyang kippameva pajahati vinodeti byanti karoti anabhavang gamiti. Here, any samana brahmana, or when the corrupt perception arises in their mind, this ascetic or Brahmin, what it does? Quickly give it up, get rid of it, eliminate it, and obliterate it. They will be happy in the present life. So ditte cheva dhamme sukham viharati. In this very life, they will be happy. Avigatang anupayasang aparilahan, free of distress, anguish, and fever. Kaya sacha bheda parang marna sugati patikankati. And with the breakup of the body after death, they can expect to be born into the good place. This is the Sutta Buddha explained here. Beautiful Sanidāna Sutta. It means with the reason, all things come. Now, you and me have to relate this with our life. What thing we have to get rid of? How to get rid of? The path is explained in front of us by Buddha. We have to understand, we have to process, and then work for it. Okay? So remember, read this Sanidāna Sutta. It is in Sanyutta Nikaya, Dhatu Sanyutta. It's beautifully explained. So may this sutta be helpful for all of us, for you and for me, be helpful for all of us to understand this Dhamma, and we may realize the Four Noble Truths in this Gautam Buddha's dispensation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Bhante, I have a question.
Yes. We can have questions also. Yeah.
Bhante, when we were born in the world, in us, do we have both this dhatu? Because it seems like we come to this world with this dhatu, but like the Gautama Supreme Buddha, before he renounced the world, his Nekkhamma dhatu, his renunciation, element of renunciation, is greater than us. Can I say that then, Bhante? Because
yes,
this
because
dhatu
of practice. Because of practice.
practice in the past life, in the Buddha's past life, naturally in him, the Kama Dhatu is more.
Yes, but there is still everyone in this world also. Maybe their element is strong, but they can change that. They can start today to change that. With the one thought, it can change. So we can make our that element also very strong. That is possible. Yes, previous practices does matter, but if we just always think that, okay, maybe I haven't done in previous life, we born in this much way. Why we born as a human now? Because there is something good we have done in past. That is the reason we are here. It means that there is also the strong nekkam renunciation element is also exist in us. It depends how we nurture it. How we nurture it. Something simple. There are people drown into the sensual pleasure. You may have noticed. Drown, it means from the infancy, all five sensual pleasure is with them. Nothing. And immediately something wrong, something harsh happened, and they make their mind, now I'm going to change myself. It just doesn't come because of that, all the happiness is there. That is also come because the renunciation exists, and then they start to do something, they seek something. So all both. We are as a monk also. We left home and everything. Not all the monks can stay as a monk whole life. Sometimes we are unable to control the emotions and we go back home. Because do they go back home? What does mean? After renunciation also there is existence of desire. Sensual desire is there. That is a stronger. So it depends how they are. First day their renunciation was there, and the second day the desire is there. Yes, it is how we nurture this both thing depends on that. So you and me both have the renunciation. We all have sensual desire also. It is only that how we deal it, how we are bound with, depends on that.
Bante, I am also thinking of this dhatu, this element, comparing to the anusaya, the underlying tendency. I don't know,
Yeah, it's okay. It is connected. Means actually, see, Buddha simply said this thing all, but Buddha gave ideas of that. Means previous practice does matter. So Anusaya, it does matter. That is
previous
the only
practice from
yeah.
our past life, Bante?
Yes. Like Buddha says, the person who wear the robe today have practiced offering robe in past. Donating robe, donating the chivar helps them to become a bhikkhu. So the previous practice does matter to leave the white cloth. Without that, unable to do. So does previous practice matters.
But now I'm thinking, Bante, the anusaya is more to the unwholesome side. Anusaya is always unwholesome, right, Bante? There's no positive side of the anusaya. It lies underlying tendency in the stream of consciousness. But this dhatu, what we possess, it has the positive dhatu and the negative dhatu. Based on this.
Devdatta also had renunciation, but took completely wrong turn. But when he was passing away, what happened? He gave up that everything. As he dying, he simply said, I truly believe the Blessed One is the one. Buddha says that last thought, plant the seed. For what? That he will become Pacheka Buddha. So one small thing also can change the entire destiny. He definitely went to the hell. 1 eon he will suffer because of what he did. So he will suffer because of that Anusaya. But that one thought also placed, he will achieve the great fruit than all of us.
Mm.
That is the thing.
That's
So
yeah.
both negative and positive does exist.
Mm.
It is depend on how we nurture it.
Mm. Right. Thank you, Bante. Very beautiful sutta. So.